Okay, Thursday the 22nd. We need to find the domain and the range of a piecewise function. So, look at what we have here. We've got a graph that has all the negative numbers up to this number. What is that? -5, right? Stops at -5. And then this one is an open circle at -5, and so it goes the rest of the way, -4, -3, -2. It stops at -2. In fact, -2 is not included there. But -2 is included there, and then -1 and 0 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the rest of the numbers. So all of the positive numbers are here, all the way down to -2, as a matter of fact. And then on the left-hand side of -2, you'd be on this line until you get to -5. And then at -5, you have to drop down to this line. And then on the left-hand side of -5, it's all these. So the domain of this equation, or of this picture right here, I'm using all the numbers in the whole wide world. The domain is all real numbers. So I can write that. What's the domain? All the numbers. It's infinitely wide. If I pick -8, I'm right there. If I pick -5, I'm right there. If I pick -4.5, I'm over on this line. If I pick -3, I'm right here. If I pick -2, I'm down on this line. I can pick +1, I'm right here. +7, I'm right here. So see, I can pick any number I want. So all the x numbers are accounted for. Now, what's the range? That's the tricky part. What y values am I using? Well, I'm definitely not using any of these y values down here, right? In fact, the lowest y value I ever use is right that dot. That's 0. So the smallest y value is 0. And then I use all the rest of the y values, because I can find 1, I can find 2, I can find 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And remember, this goes up forever and ever. So that means I'm using all of these y values as well over here, right? So that means my range starts at 0 and goes forever up. Ta-da! Okay? Now, what's the range of the other one? That is the question, isn't it? Okay, so let's go to this guy. Now on this one, what's the domain? Let's see, we're using all the negative numbers till we get to -2, but then -2 is right here. I'm using all those values till I get to +3. And then if I want to go to the right of +3, I have to be up here. So I'm using all the numbers again. So the domain of number 4 is once again all real numbers in the whole wide world. Every single one. What about the range? Now, here I'm using all the numbers smaller than 2, right? The y value is smaller than 2. And here I'm using the number smaller than 2, but I'm also using the number smaller than 6. So, I can never find a y value that's 8, right? I can't find 8, 9, 10, can't find 7. The lowest, or the highest y value I can ever find is almost 6. I'm not equal to 6, right? I can never be 6, but I can be almost 6. So the highest number in my domain is almost 6. The lowest number, this goes down forever and ever and ever and ever. So the lowest number in my range is -infinity. So from -infinity to 6, that's the range of this one. Okay, let's do one more. What's the range of this one? Page 91. We want to go back to 91. Somewhere over here was that beautiful picture we had. No, that wasn't 91. What page was it? Was it even in this book? No, it wasn't in this book. Let's find it in this book. There we go. Now it's on page 91. We know that. There we go. Hallelujah. So here's my equations, and here's my domain. I'm using all the numbers in the whole wide world, because here I'm using all the numbers smaller than 1, and then I'm using the numbers between 1 and 3, and then I'm using the numbers bigger than 3. So that's all real numbers. So I know the domain of this one. If I wanted to know the domain, it would in fact be all real numbers again. Now, almost always that's what the domain is, but every once in a while they'll try and trick you, so be careful. And then the range, what is the range? Now then, here we're using 6 and only 6, that's all. And here we're using the numbers between 4 and 6, but here we start at 2, and then we go up forever and ever and ever. So the range would start at 2. Now it's an open circle, so it cannot be a bracket. It's going to be a parentheses. And then it goes up forever. The range of this graph starts at 2. The y value, when we talk a range, we're talking y value, and it goes up forever. So the domain's all real numbers. The range is that. You should be able to do half of today's homework. Yes, yay! And then we'll do the other half in a second.